Welcome back to Crown and Compass, where in this episode, we're going to be decoding another parable of Jesus. Not just to understand scripture, but to unlock our identity, right? Like who we are in the kingdom, right? But also how he's describing the kingdom to us. So, to unlock your identity and your divine impact, right? Today's message is about something so small, so subtle, and yet so transformative. Things that it's like we can only relate to worldly things sometimes and how we express ourselves and our ability to understand it. But what if it has such a more deep what if there's such a deep impression on what it could mean spiritually, right? On who we are. So we're talking about yeast in this episode. Just a pinch, but in God's hands it becomes unstoppable, right? So Jesus says in Matthew 13:33, the kingdom of heaven is like yeast that a woman took and mixed into about 60 pounds of flour until it worked all through the dough. This one liner parable is short, but it's layered, right? Yeast represents influence, transformation, and movement. And Jesus is telling us this is what the kingdom looks like inside of you, right? Yeast is small, but it doesn't stay still, right? It has to be moved in and work through the entire batch, everything. It only takes a little yeast to affect the entire batch, and it works quietly, internally, but the result is undeniable. The dough rises, right? You don't need to be loud to be powerful. You just need to be present. You don't have to be a bull in a china shop. Let's just break everything down. Let's make it known, right? Like that's not how it works. Because we can't have too much, right? We can't have too much yeast, right? There can't be too much of something. It has to be just right. It has to be layered right. It has to be the right kind of concentration, right? The right kind of focus, the right kind of numbers. Everything has to lay out right, right? So that's what God's saying that we have to work in us. Like he works in us as we allow him to work and mold through us, right? And we let it happen, right? You carry a contagious kingdom. Yeast is alive. It activates everything it touches. So is the Spirit of God within you. And that's what he's really trying to convey. We can't get stuck on minor details. We can't get stuck too much on missing the principle of what the message is trying to relay. Because we can overthink it, right? We can have to control it and twist it and contort it into something else that it's really not. And we can make it that way, right? But we have to allow God to make it. That's the point. You're not just a passive Christian, you are a catalyst. I'm a catalyst. You're a catalyst. Your presence should shift the atmosphere, not because you're forceful, not because you dominate, not because your overwhelming presence just makes everyone else have to be watered down, but because you're full of the Spirit of God, of the yeast that He has given, of the living Spirit, right? The truth, the love, everything that comes from Him, the good things. You're not just meant to blend, right? To be blended and just to be a part of the process. You're meant to transform, become something completely new, rise and be different. But what kind of different? Let's make sure we're being clear on this. In the kingdom, influence doesn't always look like visibility. It doesn't always have the biggest presence. It doesn't always have the shining light on it. It doesn't always have the biggest platform. Jesus isn't asking you to dominate spaces. He's calling you to transform them from within. Revival doesn't start on a stage. It starts in someone's soul. That's where fire can ignite, right? In the driest of places, in the places that are needed, right? Like we need things and we crave it, so therefore it grows. You are kingdom yeast. You are the yeast, but he is the yeast that has to be in you. You've been planted in families, jobs, churches, schools, not to fit in, but to rise up and raise others with you, because we have to be transformative through the entire process in all the things. But it's not just us, right? Like let's not turn this into performance based. Like, I don't have to do it all, but through and in everything can I help everything rise and everyone. You may feel small, but in God's hands, you're the spark of revival. So you need to rise up and raise others with you. So wherever you go, let's breathe and speak life. And what does that look like? How do we practically breathe and speak life? What does this look like? Yes, it's scripture, and we can throw scripture at people all day long. But when people battle over the scripture, how can we practically be tangible even if we don't align with our beliefs? Even if we don't align in the same thing, how can we show them God so that they can believe? How can we be, not be God, but how can we be a representative and an ambassador for God and seek on his behalf? Love. If the love of God is not in you, but you proclaim to have love, right? Let your quiet obedience be louder than the world's noise. You don't have to announce your yeast. You don't have to announce, I'm a Christian. I'm a part of God's kingdom. You don't have to always announce this. We don't always have to be, hey, I'm better than you. We don't have to seem like that, because that's what people might interpret. That's what people might take it, right? Just show up and the dough will rise, right? God's will work through you and in you to produce what's supposed to rise. You are kingdom yeast, subtle, transformative, and unstoppable, ultimately. But you need to know that and understand that and take hold of that as an identity. You don't have to be big and powerful, just like yeast. You're built to rise. The kingdom within you wasn't made to stay silent, but inevitably it makes noise. Inevitably it's seen and it rises. So don't get down on yourself. Don't shame yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. You're not just in the mix. You were sent to shift the mix. Kingdom yeast changes everything from the inside out. That takes time. You may feel hidden, but you're powerless. You're rising, and so is everything around you. It happens in time. It's a process. So let's be kingdom yeast. Let's be more influential of the Spirit. But first off, let the Spirit influence us. And this is Crown and Compass. I hope it helped you. And I hope this little bit kind of just came in and gave you some strength where you needed it. So until next time, I love you guys. I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.